Hi guys, and welcome back to episode 6 of our Let's Play of Star Traders Frontiers. In the last episode, we completed our diplomatic tour on behalf of Prince Vane, and we returned to home space back to Dixie Maelstrom. We were asked by the Prince to transport the Arbiter to investigate the destruction of the Highwind, the ship that his daughter is blamed for. And we also picked up a timed export mission, which should help us in our solar war against the Javat. We're currently winning that by a little bit, and this should be enough to really push us over the edge. We've also managed to grab a new diplomat officer, I believe, since the last time. If I'm not mistaken, his charisma is 30, yeah, and 30 wisdom as well, so really excited with this really brilliant officer that we picked up. We also multi-classed him into Doctor, so really hopeful about our chances with him. I just noticed he actually doesn't have a berry, so let's quickly do that. Alright, so I believe that we don't really have anything to do at the moment. We have a level up, but that is for our doctor slash combat medic. We're just waiting so that they level up again so that we can get Lifesaver, the rank 5 doctor skill. So I think we'll start with the Arbiter. Actually, it'll be nice to get this mission out of the way so that we can free up the passenger cabin. Since we have a diplomat now, it would be nice to take some of the diplomatic tour missions, combine that with our increased pay from the commanded skill. We could make some hefty money very quickly. Our credits are looking okay at 184. But I would ideally like to get it to at least 500,000 before we look at upgrading our ship. Right, let's quickly go via Moklumnue Prime. It's going to be a difficult world for us to get anything from in terms of card games, because both sides of the planet have such high stats, and I believe they're combined to form the risk and reward ratios. Yeah, unfortunately nothing brilliant here. Perhaps it is worth doing this. I think in the long run the credits is nice. We also gained rep with Devaltos. We lost a little bit with Clan Moklumnue. Oh, I see, we've impacted a conflict. I wonder what conflict they currently have. Oh, they're in a trade war, I see, and Devaltos is winning now. Ah, okay, so interesting. We're going to have to make that up, because as you can see with minus 12 reputation, since it's gone under the minus 10 threshold, we are no longer allowed to, or we're no longer permitted to heal our crew members inside their territory. So I would quite like to do a patrol mission. I'm not too excited about either of these. But to be honest, I'd really like to get the reputation down rather quickly. So we've gained a little bit. I don't believe we have any cargo other than the Arbiter. And I don't believe they will ever touch the Arbiter because she's of Sendu bloodline and is respected. Alright, so with -6, let's refuel at the atrocious rate of 19 credits per unit of fuel. Yeah, let's hand in the mission first. My thanks for bringing me this far, Star Trader. We have held to our promise to Callaghan Fane. From here, you will have to choose just how deeply you want to get involved. Princess Aiden Char is not going to appreciate your presence, but I know that Callaghan wants you to put on a show. When we attempt to complete a mission step, very often a skill test is required. We already know that. This will use the summed skill of myself, my officers, and my crew, as well as one of my attributes. If anyone on the crew has a talent that helps us automatically pass a skill test, such as command, these talents also work in missions. Anytime a mission that has an automatic pass talent guaranteeing its success is marked with a white saving talent over the icon. If we lack a talent to automatically pass negotiate or command, we might consider retraining an officer to ensure success. Right, so the first step will be the clan Moklumnue world of frequency, where the Arbiter will meet Princess Aiden Char and the faction judge who's handling the Highwind's bombing of the Legal. Right. I think we're going to go with a light escort. We are literally just here as an escort. We don't want to be associated too heavily with Prince Fane. We have no loyalty to him. He just pays better than most. Days have passed, Captain. The Arbiter spent most of the time in closed-door meetings with Judge Wayland and the Princess. She has been tight-lipped about what's been going on. We knew she would be strict about this. It's a matter of Shaloon law. In the end, the entire proceedings dragged on for a week. Luckily, we're being well paid for our time. In the final meetings, we got a chance to hear it directly from Princess Char. Many welcomes, Star Trader. Thank you for escorting Arbiter Brockstrom here safely. Her presence is so critical to this case. If she wasn't here, you'd worry the political agendas would get in the way. Favors would be called in. The law would be trampled upon. The Arbiter just glares. We'll need to make another stop on our tour, Star Trader. That will be for the best. It's important you see all the evidence, especially the Highwind's wreckage and the footage recorded there. You must understand, Star Trader, the Highwind orbital was no regular station. It was a military research facility, meaning that you had surveillance and security systems to protect against such an attack. To prevent a bombing from within? No. Valencia Fane slipped under our radar with a white flag. But those systems captured copious proof of her deadly crime, not to mention her obvious motive. She came to destroy the technology the Fanes claimed they wanted to purchase. In the bombing, we lost one of the most brilliant minds the galaxy has ever seen, Aldo Bastille. We believe that Aldo, who held the position of chief scientist on the Highwind, may have been her primary target. The Arbiter again just glares. Time to return to your ship, Captain. Until we meet again, Arbiter. Silence for a time. She is sure of herself. She's not lying. She holds damning evidence. You think Valencia bombed the Highwind? Why would she? To kill this Aldo character? We're not done yet. You must take me to the world that the Highwind was orbiting. Right, so we successfully passed our test. We afforded Arbiter Brockstrom a tightly organised daily escort to her meeting with Princess Aiden Char and nothing more. Our discipline and neutrality were noticed by all. So that's good. We lost 8 reputation. I suppose I should say only 8 reputation. Let's pay the wages of our crew. 7 level ups. Right, so first one, crew dog. I very much like talk in the hall, but I don't think we've been using the spice hall enough. It would be nice to let's actually reroll when we're patrolling. I sort of see patrolling as the quickest and fastest way to gain reputation with other factions, so it's something I see us doing often. Right, for our next gunner, we will take... we already have 2, but I think we should get more. I believe with our next ship, I'm hoping to... we'll see how our financial situation holds up, but I am hoping to upgrade into a bigger ship. Bigger ships move slower, which means you need more talents for meteors and so on. So I'm perfectly happy getting a 3rd one. We have 2 negotiators. I think I'm going to pick up a 2nd efficient route. And I'm not really a fan of fast getaway. But I think I will grab a single one. Just so we have something. Plus 20 escape is fine. It may help us in the early stages of the game. Right, I think I'm going to pick up a shore landfall, just so we have one. The cooldown's 3 weeks, so I imagine we'll be using it almost off cooldown. Right, and our new soldier has leveled up to rank 5. Yeah, I still don't see anything wrong with backline leader. He's still going to be in the back. Perfect. Right, so already we've gone to minus 14 because of the because of doing the mission for Callaghan Fane. Right, so our next step, we have a choice here. So we can either have a look at the evidence that Aiden Char is holding, or we can find our own evidence that we will gather independently. And in exchange for this, we're paid significantly more. I don't have an issue with doing that. I believe it's actually a spy card game, so that should be fine for us. We do have to be careful in Moklumnue space, not just because of this pirate, but there are heavy patrols in the area, and with the reputation of minus 14, we are certainly not safe. Navigators, careful now. This was the world over which the Highwind military research base was parked. You can see the debris fields still hanging in orbit. The bomb was powerful enough to take out the entire station. The destruction was absolute. I'm very tempted to... let's actually begin with the mission. We'll replace the crew danger with an intel reward card. And of course, the one red card that we didn't cover is hit. As you can see, our mission success has gone up by 2%. It goes up slightly every time you don't hit it. I am worried about this because of the hostile bounty hunter. It is a large class ship, so maybe we could run away, but that tends to mean they will also there we go, they will also hit a lot harder. Right, so it actually looks like we should do fairly well as long as we stick at the more distant ranges. So let's have a go trying to flee with fast getaway. Right, so we couldn't flee and they used tireless pursuit on us, so we have -40 escape. But we have also hit them with void contortions, which gives them -10 defense, -10 armor, -10 escape, and -10 void resist. Okay, so I think we're going to give that another go. I will put on an evasive maneuvers, and I think next turn we'll go for a sharp steering. Okay, so we still failed our retreat. We only have one turn left on the tireless pursuit, but he has debuffed us with a targeting lock, so it will still be fairly difficult to get out of the way. But I think we're doing decent damage. I'd say objectively we're winning this fight. But it just costs so much in resources to come back from a fight in the early game. I don't think it's really worth it. Right, so they go for Unrivaled Patch and miss us twice. Miss us 3 times, and we've managed to escape. Brilliant. Right, so we only lost 1 reputation, 5 was mitigated thanks to Signal Jammer. Gained a little bit of experience. Let's have a look. Our engine is 2% damaged. Everything looks fine. Crew injuries, none. I think this is really the most important thing. Crew injuries can very quickly spiral out of control. I'm not very happy doing this, but let's go for it. Yeah, crew injuries can very quickly spiral out of control since they, since they directly impact your morale and so forth. Right, I think we should begin by refueling and I'm actually going to repair everything as well, just to kill a few days. I'm really not okay with doing this. I think we'll give the patrol a go first and see what happens. So let's re-roll the death. Okay, brilliant. Best case scenario. Right, so I'm more than happy to retreat from them. We lost a little bit of reputation with Devaltos, but that's fine. Right, and let's give spying another go now that the talent has come back. So we'll get rid of Death Among Crew, and we're really looking for the mission success here. Absolutely brilliant. So 8 crew have gained 64 experience. Everything we have found points one way, Arbiter. Our time here has not helped change the direction this is going. The wreckage of the Highwind clearly indicates a multi-stage internal explosion. It was no research accident, it was a bombing without a doubt. The few transmissions we have intercepted about the Highwind were all packed with evidence. It's almost too easy. As if they know we are up here. I had hoped that there would be something I could do, that somehow the Princess Aten would be bending or breaking Shaloon law to persecute Valencia unfairly. But it seems that is not the way of it. The evidence against Valencia is piling up. Even our independent investigation has turned up the same conclusion. This is not what Callaghan is expecting. That does not matter. What matters is the truth and the law. My failure would be carried down in my lineage, clear for every arbiter who followed me to see. There is no question, I cannot help the Fane cohort in this. Okay, so the Arbiter is, seems to be a real stickler for the law. She is willing to only help Callaghan Fane as long as it's within the legal runes, which seems absolutely reasonable. Right, so with that, we are indeed ready to bring the Arbiter back home. Right, so we have run into one of our own military officers. We will just depart. A duel of assassins has become between us and Zenrin. That's something that we're going to have to look out for, but if I'm not mistaken, a duel of assassins should allow us to cash in quite nicely on missions, if I'm not mistaken. Let's have a look. So yeah, mission payments and risks are increased. All faction ships are more hostile, increased chance to encounter bounty hunter ships. Losing the conflict can be devastating to contacts within the defeated faction. Right, so we really have to push for this. We're already winning, but it doesn't look like it's by anywhere near enough. Reputation loss for acknowledging spy or bounty hunter ships of the opposing faction. Okay. That's something we are going to have to keep an eye on. It's something that I'm notoriously quite bad at, keeping track of which sort of ships we can't acknowledge. Let's quickly drop the Arbiter off, see if we can pick up one of those diplomatic tour missions. Quite a lot of ship up failures overall, perhaps something that we need to look into. Yeah, definitely is something we need to look into. That's a lot of damage. Right, so let's begin by just helping out the crew, refueling. Is it worth repairing? Yeah, absolutely. Our hyperwarp drive is very damaged. I believe we should still be very good on time for both missions. We are. Let's do the neutrality before we pay wages. Right, so, with her tour complete, Arbiter Brockstrom must return to the Fane Court at Terminatus to meet with Prince Callaghan about her findings. We're here to escort Arbiter Estelle Brockstrom to the destination. Let's escort her. We bring neither happy tidings nor good news. Many welcomes, Estelle. And Captain, once again I owe you my gratitude for your services well rendered. Greetings to you both. We have not yet met. Ah, so this is Valencia Fane. I am Valencia Fane, of course. Valencia, it's an honour to finally meet you. I only wish that it was under better circumstances. Estelle? Do not bandy with words. Speak your news now and clearly. Callaghan, you're well aware of my commitment to Shaloon law. Don't start pattering on with me, Estelle. I don't want to hear your rote platitudes. Father, contain yourself. Absolutely not, Val. You don't know this witch, but I do. She is about to feed you to those Moklumnue wolves. You should heed your daughter's warning, Callaghan. You would betray me, my family, and my daughter. I betray no one. I uphold the law. You can't be serious. I did not bomb that cursed facility. By the flag, this is a farce. I'm sorry, Valencia. They hold undeniable evidence. Multiple bombs were smuggled off your ship onto the Highwind. Surveillance footage from multiple satellites and security systems all support their claims. I should not be telling you this. It taints the case. But I am because of our friendship. Because of our friendship? How can you even say that now, you snake in the grass? Responsibility flows upward. As the captain of the Medusa, Val will be found guilty. I did no such thing. Get out of my court, now. Begone, you Zendu witch. It was a good moment to excuse ourselves from the palace. None of us wanted to be within Callaghan's striking distance for a moment longer. We have gained a major experience reward, 240 across the crew. What will you do next, Arbiter? I must recuse myself from the proceedings. I will find another star trader to give me a ride back to my holdings on Ryline. Whatever happens next, it won't be helped by having me here. And what will you do once you arrive on Rylan? There is no further time to waste. This legal mess has shown me one thing. The faction accords aren't working for our people anymore. There is a feud coming between the Fane and the Char. It will be long, deep, and bloody. It will not end with their attempt on Val's life. If Shaloon law and its judicial structures aren't enough to stop this from happening, then we must find new ways to keep the peace. I have long championed amendments to the faction accords to form a united coalition that would have overseen this sort of case. A united coalition would have taken it out of the hands of the Moklumnue judge. If the case had been handled by a neutral party, perhaps the feud could have been prevented. So much hangs in the balance. 2 more royal families locked in the death grip of a feud. Thousands of lives, years of instability and war. Blood spilt on both sides. Rest assured, if Val dies, Callaghan will seek royal blood in return. There is much to do, but I must return to Ryland to finish the negotiations I started. Our people can wait no longer for the United Coalition. I have need of a dedicated star trader to help me. You've more than proven your mettle. I would ask for your help if I could get it. I know that you may wish to stay here and help Prince Vane see this through. Arbiter Brockstrom has added an offer to our mission list to join her on Ryland, where she needs help advocating for the amendments to form the United Coalition. I'm sure we'll find Prince Vane has calmed if we wish to return to his court. Until we meet again, Arbiter. I hope that you will consider joining me on Rylan, but I can see that you're still thinking of helping the Vane. You must be careful of their court politics, Captain. Join me on Rylan. That's a decision that I will have to make. I should not be telling you this, but I spoke with Judge Whalen, who's running the case. He is hard set on keeping the legal proceedings to within a 6-year timeline. It's well within his rights as a judge. Enough. I've said far too much. Now I must go. Arbiter Estelle has given us insider intel on the Highwind legal proceedings, and exactly when they will end, within the next 6 years. If we wish to help the Vane, we must return to the court and meet with Callaghan. Right. So that's quite a lot to take in. Let's begin processing while we pay our wages. Hopefully the doctor's leveled up. Wow, everyone has leveled up, it seems. Let's get another point in our diplomat. Really? That is very unfortunate. Right, so our quartermaster commander, I'm happy to put another point in commander for now. I'm going to get another reroll patrol card. I'm not too sure what I'd like to get for E-Techs. Maybe a couple more storm shieldings. Yeah. Right, next we have our gunner. So we have 3 meteor defense. I think that's going to be absolutely fine for now. I guess we'll start removing risk cards rather than replacing them. And we'll start with patrol, obviously. And then finally we have a couple of pilots. More than happy to get another evasive maneuvers, and I think we could do with a sharp steering. Ah, this person already has sharp steering, I should have checked that. You can never have too many evasive maneuvers. Right, and finally we have our swordsman. Swordsman already has bravery line. I think I'm going to go for balanced blade to begin with, and after that we can go for sharp counter. Right, so we have quite a big decision ahead of ourselves. We need to decide whether we firstly are going to help Callaghan or not get involved, because this looks like it's going to be a long and arduous battle. And we also have to decide whether we wish to help Estelle Brockstrom. This is a bit of a tricky one. She wants to change the course of global politics. She's very well respected as an Arbiter, but is also a Zendu, and therefore trust is lacking. But we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do next time. This is where I'm going to wrap up the episode. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.